Hello, beautiful. Today we are using my Unfolding Truth workbook. If you have not seen these yet, you can get them on Amazon. We are going to do an Old Testament background study today. I have been going through this here on YouTube, and we just finished Leviticus. We are on to Numbers. So if you would like to do this with me, keep watching. I'm going to be using my NLT Illustrated Study Bible for this, and we're going to get right into this. I have picked my Write Tech, a couple of highlighters here. Whoops, I've got stickers on my finger. And I'm going to be using this S-Gel Sharpie. I've got some Post-it notes and some washi. So let's get right into this. Who was the human author and what do you know about him? All right, so we've got all of this information on Moses. We have lots of information on Moses, so I'm probably just going to write Moses. I'm going to write it really big, just for fun. Spell it right this time, Nikki. S A S, Moses. Zoop. Zoop. There it is, Moses. All right, what was the original audience and what do you know about them? So we know this was the Israelites. However, there's some more complexity to the book of Numbers. So let's move on and then we'll come back to that, okay? The book of Numbers instructed a new generation camped on the plains of Moab to obey the Lord. So, okay, a new generation of Israelites. I guess we'll just go right into that since Nikki figured it out or found it right off. I'm going to use these little Post-it notes here. Pick it right there. Pick it right there. Okay. What did I just say? New generation. A new generation of Israelites a new generation of Israelites. Okay, that's really who it's for. What do we know about them? The people from the Exodus, which is when God parted the Red Sea and Moses led the people, that's the Exodus. The people from the Exodus had all died. Okay, a new generation of Israelites. The people from the Exodus had all died. And this book was for their, I'm going to attempt to spell descendants. Don't laugh if I spell it wrong. I think I got it right. Okay, yay, yay, yay. Okay, so what do you know about them? Right there, right now, that's what we know. There's some more things, I think, but what was the purpose of the book and what type of writing is it? So if we go back here, I found a list of all different types of writing. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in there because I thought this was kind of cool. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm really bad at keeping this in the camera. Okay, let's go ahead and stick this here. We're going to stick it right there. I'm going to grab another book and I'm going to stick it under this book because then it helps me write up on this page here, okay? So this is what we're going to write. We're going to write, it's a narrative. Narrative, okay? It also has poetry. Poetry. It has the law. Has facts and figures. Facts and figures. So isn't that fun? That gives the scriptures where those are, so that's kind of fun. Let's see. Oh, here's something fun. Moses wrote it, but there may have later been editors. Later, an editor added the story of Moses' death. There we go. Okay. Then we've got, what was the original adjective? What do you know about them? Okay, I'm going to leave that right there for a moment. All right, what was the purpose of the book? The purpose, whoops. Let's go back here. We've got a summary, the meaning and message, the setting. Okay, so here's a couple of things that make the purpose like super simple to follow along with and easy to understand. So I'm going to use that, and we're going to go like this. I don't know how many lines I'll need, but I'm just going to do it. Hopefully it'll work out, and I'm actually going to scoot this over now. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to write is Numbers was written so that those who learn from history need not repeat mistakes from the past. No, the book of Numbers instructed the new generation camped on the plains of Moab to obey the Lord. So here's our places. Camp on the plains of Moab. That's cool, right? We didn't have that kind of information in Exodus, so that's cool. Let's see. What was the purpose of the book? To learn how to obey the Lord. Wow, I feel like I can't come up with it here. It's hard to do this and read at the same time. So we've got the timeline. Where's the timeline? Okay, so here he was. We're going to do the time period. Okay, hold on. The time period, it says in this book, is 1400s to 1200 BC. So that's a little bit different than the others. You may want to look at another study Bible and make sure that that's the most common belief. It seems odd to me for some reason, but it does say it in here. So that's okay. The registration accounts. Oh, yes. All right, I remember now. The registration accounts show them with mathematical precision. Okay, not that. Hold on. Okay, main messages and themes. I want to write this. I know I'm all over the place, and I apologize. I'm going to do a dot. The same God. The same God. Can you guys see what I'm doing? The same God. All right. Who liberated, right? He set them free. He got them out of slavery in Egypt. Liberated. The same God who liberated his people from Egypt. Destroyed that rebellious generation. Because they did not believe. Okay? Believe and obey. Period. All right. Numbers illustrates the judgment of a holy God while teaching that the Lord is faithful, patient, and just. So let's go ahead and add that one too. We'll make another circle. And let's write that. Numbers illustrates. The judgment of a holy God while teaching that the Lord is faithful. See, God is so good. The Lord is faithful. And then patient and just. Patient. We serve such a good God. And just. Okay. Main messages and themes. Let's see, what did I want to write? It's a case study. I love that information. Where do I want to write that? Let's write it down here. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. What was the purpose of the book and what type of writing was it? So let me think about this one. Hang on. Israel was shaped and purified during this wilderness sojourn. The book of Numbers enabled successive generations to hear that story. Okay, so the book of Numbers instructed a new Nope. Israel was shaped. Israel was shaped and purified during. So they took an 11-day trip from where they left Egypt to the promised land that God promised Abraham. It should have taken them about 11 days. It took them 40 years. They wandered in circles and disobeyed God the entire time. Like, it was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. And we probably would have done the same thing or something very similar. Israel was shaped and purified during this wilderness sojourn. That means during their time wandering around. Semicolon. The book of Numbers. The book of Numbers enabled, this is the purpose of it, successive generations to hear that story. It thus became a vital component. I hope I don't run out of room. Component of Hebrew memory. Okay, now, what does that mean? That means that they memorized this because they wanted to make sure that the new generation did things differently. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? All right, so what else do we want to write here? With the original audience, what do you know about them? A new generation of Israelites, the people from the Exodus had all died, and this book was for their descendants. So we've got this, the two registrations of Israel's men of military age. So we're going to write this down. This is complicated. Just hang with me. Hang with me. What do I want to do here? The two registrations. This is heavy in information, isn't it? The two registrations of Israel's, I always say it like that, so I spell it right. Israel's men of military age. This is chapter 1 through 4, and then semicolon 26. Also shape numbers. These registrations, hold on. The two registrations of Israel's men of military age are recorded, I'm going to say, in this book. Now, it goes on to say, these registrations primarily measured the strength of Israel's fighting force and the number of Levites. Okay, so these registrations, I hope I can write this all. This one's heavy, isn't it? This is a lot of info. These registrations measured the strength come on, Nikki, come on, Nikki, come on, Nikki. The strength, where'd I go, of Israel's fighting force. Fighting force. And then it says, and the number of Levites. So the Levites were the priests, right? Remember, we just looked at the priests and the sacrifices in the previous book, and now we're looking at more about the Levites. These registrations measured the strength of Israel's fighting force and the number of Levites. And what does it say? With the totals at the beginning of the book and toward the end representing two completely different generations. So these registrations measured the strength of Israel's fighting force and the number of Levites from the first generation to the next. So at the beginning of the book, there is a registration, and it's very methodical, I don't know the word. And so it's going to tell you these things. Then towards the end of the book, which is chapter 26, it's going to tell you this new generation, okay? So these people all die off. God did not allow them to enter the promised land. They were all gonna die, right? He didn't even let Moses enter the promised land. The only two people he let enter the promised land besides this new generation was Caleb and Jacob, okay? And we'll get into them in the next book, I think. All right. So now, excuse me, we've got, who are the key people and key places? Camp on the plains of Moab. What else? Other fun facts. There was a census. Oh, okay. So this registration is maybe a census. I don't know. I'm going to put a little arrow here, and I'm going to say the first census. Yes, the registration is a census. The first census tallied the rebellious generation that left Egypt, comma, received the law at Sinai, comma, and died in the wilderness. In the wilderness. You want to know something cool about this? When they wandered for 40 years in the wilderness, their shoes and their clothes never wore out. They walked and moved about and moved their tents for 40 years, and their clothes and their shoes never wore out. Is that a miracle of God or what? And does that show his mercy? Wow, he's so awesome. The lot Sinai, and died in the wilderness, period. The second generation, the second registration, it says, the second, I'm just going to put census because that's what this was up here. The second census numbered the new generation of Israelites. And then it says that entered the promised land. That entered the promised land. Period. Okay? Israelites that left Egypt repeatedly rebelled. They all died in the wilderness except for Joshua and Caleb, whose faith was exemplary. Okay, so key people and places. We've got Jacob. And not Jacob, Nikki. Come on, girlfriend. Come on. Not Jacob. Caleb and Joshua. We'll just use this. Caleb and Joshua. Caleb and Joshua, the only two people from the first generation that got to go into, oh, I'm running out of room, the promised land. Period. Oh, that was a tough squeeze. Wow, this is messy. Okay. What else? Numbers is a case study in how Israel maintained and failed to maintain covenant regulations in their day-to-day experiences. So where do I want to write that? Let's see. Israel's army was tested on several occasions before they entered Canaan. So they camp in the plains of Moab, and then they enter the promised land. The promised land. And that is Canaan. I never know if I'm saying that right. Canaan. Let's see what else here. You could, if you had this Bible, you could take a picture of this and print it off and put it in this book. You could definitely do some cool things like that. That would be super fun and make the page look cool. Let's see, was there anything else that I wanted to write in this? God tested Israel? No. I'm thinking. I need something with my aqua marker right down here. So I got to come up with something. The people were faithless and rebellious. Faithlessness and rebellion. Okay. The Israelites did not wander in the wilderness for 40 years because they were lost, but because of their faithlessness and rebellion, which I knew, and I shared that with you, I hope. The Israelites... Oh, wow. This is cool. This quote here. Look at this. This is cool. It says, history repeats itself because it is based on two factors which do not change. God's character and man's sinfulness. That is so good. That is so good. I absolutely love that. Okay, I'm still going to find something. Hold on. New generation instruction. Instruction for new generation. Let's put that. Instruction for new generation. And Numbers illustrates the judgment. Israel struggled with God, disobeyed. Instruction for the new generation to learn from the old. I'm just going to make this up. To learn from, I'm going to put the previous generation. Instruction for the new generation to learn from the previous generation, comma, to obey God, period. Okay, I don't mind that. I may come back in another day. And here's the thing about this that I want you to know, that if you find information in the future, add it in. Do y'all know how to make a tip in? It's where you either take a Post-it note or a piece of paper and you tape it, or if you're going to use a Post-it note, you would stick it in here and write extra information in it and just make like an extra little page in there. That makes it really fun. to add extra information, because I'm sure that in your Bible studies, you will learn more about these books as you learn more about the Bible. And this is so important that we understand the Bible as a whole so that we can understand each book individually. So this is super vital that you guys go through these on your own. And these books are great for that. You can use a plain old notebook. You don't have to use my books. So I want to make sure that I'm clear with that. Let's go ahead and do this, just because I forgot to use this plum color. Except for those 2 little dots right there. 2 little dots. Maybe I'll make 2 little dots here too. 2 little dots. Okay. Right here and right here. And then is there anything else that I wanted to write? Did not believe and did not obey. I think I'm good. I'm going to get some washi tape out. I'll probably go ahead and use this again. I really love this one, as you can tell, I'm sure. Let's see, how do I want to do that? We'll do that right there. We'll do this one right here. And then we will do one over here. And then I have this obnoxious girls, but I don't know if I can bring myself to use it, girls. I just don't know. Can she do it? Can she do it? I don't know. We're going to try. We'll see what it looks like. If I hate it, I'm removing them. Oh, I don't hate it. I don't totally hate it. I guess I'll tolerate it. How about that? We'll take this big one off. Just use two little girls. There we go. Okay, that is it. We have done numbers now. So we have Genesis, we have Exodus, we have Leviticus, and we have Numbers. Wow, this was fun. Okay, so stay tuned because I will be doing Deuteronomy with you sometime in the future. You are beautiful. Hey, if you like this video and you like this series, give it a thumbs up so I know. And go down in the comment section and tell me what was the coolest thing you learned about the book of Numbers today. You're beautiful. God loves you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.